So this is Frederick. You've also invited him. Apart from being a good friend of ours, he's also Sweden's best documentary filmmaker. And he's currently working on a new film called Bikes versus Cars. And you will see why it's called versus when you see him face cars on the road.
Wow!
You'll see why. And I don't know. Any, yeah, can you tell us more about
well, I'm a filmmaker, but I'm also, my best label is citizen of Malmo because I've always lived here. So I know the city quite well, and I've been living here. I'm quite old too, so I have a kind of historical perspective of the city. So I could try to give you both a tour of the town and points of interest that I think is interesting, or more general interest too. And it will be there will be some sweat, but we will find some pit stops, and we have Magnus with a credit card, and there's one more. So we'll solve things if you get thirsty or we need coffee or beer or whatever. And in this town you're always up against the wind, so you will. That's how that shapes us in many ways. And my previous films, I did a film called Bananas, where I follow a lawsuit where banana workers in Nicaragua were suing the old food company in Los Angeles, LA court. And that ended up that I got sued by the old food company, which kind of was a big legal fight. It lasted 2 years and $300,000 in the lawyer's expense. But in the end, as we didn't used to go against the wind, we landed it well, with the help of a lot of people in this country and all around. Anyway, that's a different story. I did a sequel then called Big Boys Gone Bananas that opened at Sundance, and it's been around in I think most of your cities, maybe not Singapore, but I mean most of other towns. Let's go. Where are we going? We are first going to the best skate ground in Northern Europe, or maybe in Europe. And then we go to the Bicycle Kitchen. And that's all the area where the big Evolution City is, which is the old shipyard, where I worked when I was 16. So I worked there for 4 years, 17 and then 17 to 21. And then it was totally very special. See some very important. Okay, let's go. Where all the boats from Denmark landed. So before the bridge, we always commuted by boat. So this was where all the boats left for Copenhagen. That trip was famous for an Elvis film. I know what, Blue Hawaii, something like that. Something stupid. Anyway, don't mind it. But this is like this is where it all happened. Once upon a time.
井さんリアルパブリックエネミーじゃないですか。永井さんの表現力に変化したらツアーがツアーの実施自体は決まりました。
When I go to I have the bike without back brakes. I feel confused. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, I don't know if this town has kind of changed identity totally over the last 20 years. So this was the biggest dry dock in the world, and they built 350,000 ton shipping tankers here. And this was like the most important shipyard in the world, and it went down in the early 90s. And there was a huge crane, it was like the biggest crane in the world, that is now running in Korea, in the city of Ulsan. So it was like 6,000 shipyard workers in here, and that was like the whole identity of the city, this working class town. And the special thing with that is also that the political rule in this town are social democratic. And it has been since the first election in 1917, and only 2 terms, or total 6 years, we ever had conservative rule in this town. It's kind of quite genuine. But then the Social Democrats have been able to also transform this worker city into now a quite modern city with a much more modern identity. And I saw somewhere in Forbes magazine that Malmo was rated as the 4th most creative city in the world. Wow. I don't really know how they count it, but it's But it's quite cool anyway. And this part of town, with this water that is right off, you can see here is a lot of housing, universities around here, just like the region, the region of southern Skåne is, that's all the top people there. But those places are all shipyard buildings. See it over here, the big office on the other side. It was a shipyard office. The shipyard is not, they're still in production of military stuff. So there's submarines. And I don't know if you know, Sweden is one of the biggest arms traders in the world, or makers. We have our own fighter jets, our own submarines, our own tanks. These peaceful people are very good at selling arms. That's like the double standards of our nation. We are not allowed to sell to people in war, but we can always bend the rules if we pay.
So, sell to the US first.
So fighter jets in Brazil, so that's the big deal.
You're prepared for this escalating conflict in Belarus?
I don't think we are.
No.
No, not really. Not really.
Don't tell them about it, but it's really, really easy to invade this country.
But as you know, in the Second World War, Sweden was not part of the war. We stayed neutral. And so the war was on the other side. The war was there. The Germans took Copenhagen. And so a lot of the Danish Jews came over here, especially Swedish fishermen. There's been important a safe haven during the war. And Sweden survived also by doing business with both sides, which was really good for business. So that's a little part of us. Anyway, it's not the nice part. Yeah, but it's we're practical people too. It's high ideals, but anyway. But let's go to the young identity of the city for
Wow, very strange buildings. The elevator is straight. Yeah, very difficult to climb.
What is that building?
Yeah.
I think Freddie will tell you more about it, but it's called Turning Parsa. It's made by Spanish Muslims.
Yeah, that's very. Yeah, I had very good combination. Spanish designer and Sweden engineer. Yes.
The spice.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Spanish, Sweden designer and Spanish engineer is not making, not a building. No. Spanish designer and Sweden engineer. Very important. you not feel the cold? Wow.
And this is also, there was a dry dock here as well. Dry dock.
Okay.
That is some fun news.
Yeah, thank you. I like my
yes.
yes.
Malmo is right outside the city. The structure.
And you have bouldering rock.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, look so sweet. Border and skaters.
Yeah.
And here you see the, I guess you heard about this building. It's called the Turning Torso. And it's only housing and residential. Designed by the Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava, who's done a lot of landmarks around the world, a lot of railway stations and airports and bridges and stuff. And he did now the big hub in number Lawrence, 10 New York. This is kind of part of the new identity of the city. It's really the signal for the new identity. After that was European housing exhibition in 2001. So now there is down there with a very nice city plan. But since then, the whole development of this former shipyard area is kind of ongoing. So it started in the end of the 90s. I can still spot shipyard buildings over here. There is still the old shipyard left, and they're now building the wind tower.
That seems like a good choice of power. Wow.
Bikes versus cars, pedestrians, skaters.
Wow. Okay.
Have any of you been down to over there before?
Yeah.
No, we should go down.
Okay, let's go.
You see where Magnus lives, I will show you.
It's really nice.
Is that good? Maybe invite us. Just go down.
Oh, bouldering. Bouldering place. Yeah, bouldering. らに通り道がいたします。なんですって通り道。Yeah, very strange building.
I did a film on the making of this house, so I followed the process for 5 years. The interesting thing I think is that it's built by a classical working class movement housing cooperative. So now had some extra money, and the house is very slender, as you see. So it's not very smart financially.
Yeah.
Which I love. You know, it's a lot of beauty. It gives a lot to the city, but it doesn't take away anything. Sometimes it's very fat building, the steel, everything, energy around. But this amazing building can coexist with all this small house. I think that's quite amazing and quite unique.
As you said, it was quite a lot, but will be built all around here. This is an ongoing progress.
Yeah.
No, that's not taller than these.
Okay. I would like to
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes. That doesn't suck. So the cool thing with this area is that it's developed with many different architects and many different builders. So it's not, sometimes when you build new, it's kind of one force going in, building everything the same year. And then it never turns out right. So here are different house owners, different architects, and that's what creates a real city normally. So the challenge is to build a new city, and that has a function of a classical city.
pointing out that was the government's decision.
Yeah. Well, the city decision, not the city. Yeah. Well, the city plan is from the city. And the city plan is you know, the instrument to create good cities. Yeah.
Very nice.
Most famous for the environmental stuff here. For example, my trash. You throw it into a tube something, and then it actually goes down to a thing outside Malmo, and then they burn it, and then it goes back to the heating of the area. So it's like it's very high tech.
All this area has very high ambition in use spending energy, so they have extremely low spending. They also have their own wind power, which is placed out in the other harbour, that brings in energy for this area. And they also have very limited parking, so people shouldn't have a car living here. So it's also a way of changing people's minds.
I'm a good example of that. I moved here, half a year later I sold both cars and started bikes.
Wow.
See, before he was fat and ugly, now he's
True story.
That's how it works.
If you guys are on like a move to Malmo recruitment tour, I want to move to Malmo recruitment tour.
Yes. Yeah.
For you Sydney guys, this building here, the architect is the son of Utzon, who did it up.
Wow. Oh, very beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Hard to imagine now, but 2 weeks ago it was like 25 degrees in the water, totally no wind, and like 35. So, changes quickly.
That's the river.
今ちょうど国際会議でスウェーデンに来ています。僕は招待で呼んでもらったんですけど、まあどうも帰んなきゃいけないですか。正直対応するのは面倒くさいんですよね、多分。 Yeah, very nice today. And very beautiful houses. Unique shape but useful. Very, very super.